Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am down at FDR State Park in Georgia. This is actually my first solo backpacking trip that's less than a month long. I've done Thru-Hikes by myself, but never a weekend trip. And this video is also sponsored by Osmos Utilities. They have a job opportunity that I think would be pretty cool for a lot of you guys that like being outdoors and hiking. But I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that later. If you're wondering where it is in relation to the state of Georgia, right there. Here we go. Today's gonna be a hot one. It's only 9:30. It's already 90 degrees. You guys already know that trails like this don't really compare to grand mountains like my last video in Colorado, things like that. But you also know that I'm into looking at the details of little things. And since there's not a ton of huge views on this trail, I'm going to try and show you some of the cooler details that I see along the way. One of the cool things about this area though is on either side of this ridge, it's like just super flat on both sides, and there's just this one ridge running down. Today turned into a scorcher. I'm like 16 miles in. It's been so hot that I haven't really eaten anything. So I still have like 80% of my food. And I also brought chili ramen for dinner. And it's super spicy. So probably not the best for a hot day. This is Broken Tree Campsite. There's been like almost nobody out here. I've seen 3-day hikers, which is kind of weird because it's a weekend at the end of summer. Last night I heard a sound that I thought was like a faraway horse whinnying, and it didn't sound that far away. It sounded pretty close, and so I was trying to figure out what it was. And I looked at my phone, I had service, and I googled horse whinny, bird that sounds like a horse whinny in Georgia, and apparently it's a screech owl. So that was kind of cool. I've got about 6 miles left today on the Pine Mountain Trail, but let me tell you a little bit more about that job opportunity. So what does Glacier National Park, Salt Lake City, Atlanta, Georgia, and the Great Smoky Mountains have in common? Well, they all have utility poles. What Osmos does is they send out a crew of people to inspect the poles and then treat any problems that are happening. And Osmos is looking for people to fill the foreman position, which is basically the leader of those little crews. And there's quite a few reasons why I think this job could be cool for people in the long distance hiking community. The first reason is you're working outside and you're exploring tons of new places every day. And the second reason, once you're trained, they have crews all over the entire country. So you can request to go to Colorado, or you can request to go to Montana, or I don't know, wherever you want to go in the country and be put on a crew. So if you want to live in Colorado for 5 months, you have that option and you can still keep the same job. Even though I'm in a state park, we still have power going up to that place where they're working, a lodge or something. And these poles, there's one right there. Let me go up to it. This one right here was inspected by Osmos. You can see these little tags. Inspected in 2001. By Osmos in 83, 74. Walking through here brings me to my next point, which I will tell you when I'm a little bit farther away from this noise. You have to be willing and able to walk a lot in a day. And the walking it's not like this trail right here. It's like what you just saw me go through, and that means there's going to be lots of thorns, there's going to be lots of ticks and chiggers. So I have to make it clear that it's not just strolling down a trail, looking at poles and checking it off. Another reason why this job might be appealing for long distance hikers is you have the option to work seasonally. Once you're trained and you've shown that you're a good worker, you have the option to leave for a few months in the summer to go do your long trail or whatever trip you're doing, and then come back and continue working for them. But on the other hand, if you stay on full time, you get things like medical and dental insurance, 401k, and paid vacations and holidays. When I got off the Appalachian Trail, I worked for them for a while, and two of the things that I remember being really cool is one, since the work is really production based, we always woke up super early, which meant we got to see sunrises in like a bunch of cool spots. And the other was the cool spots we went to. There were a ton of cool places that those poles went through, like the back of people's farms, but there's not really a lot of other ways to get permission to walk through the land, so that was cool too. If you want a more detailed description on what the role of foreman looks like, what your responsibilities will be, I will link to their video that talks a lot about that, and I'll also link to their hiring page if you're interested in applying for the job. On that page there'll be a box that asks where you heard about the job. Just select source and then select Neemor's World. Cool. I have no idea what kind of snake that was, but he was not happy to see me. Got like one more mile left to the end of the Pine Mountain Trail. I've got to hitch back to the car. Check out this giant banana spider. I think it's huge in comparison to my hand. I felt a spider web on my hat. I'm glad he didn't land on my face. There's been so many spider webs out here today. I've probably walked through 35 at least. Yay. Oh, I thought that would say Pine Mountain Trail. Pine Mountain Trail and 2-time Thru-Hiker. There's like a store down here think it's that. Hopefully they sell Gatorade. It's so hot out here.